This is the strangest mouse you will ever see, and today we're going to find out if it's viable in gaming, so stay tuned. This is the 8BitDo N30 2.4 GHz mouse. It's a collab with Daniel Jansen, who's a designer with a YouTube channel by the name of Switch and Lever. I'll link his video in the comments because he goes in depth over his design inspiration, and regardless of how I feel about the mouse, there's obviously a lot of thought and design put in this, so credit where credit is due. All right, let's unbox this thing. Look at that. So what is this thing other than a mouse? It seems like a thought experiment. How can we make the most niche mouse to ever grace the gaming sphere? You can obviously see the NES inspo. I mean, down to a T. It's actually really impressive how close they get this thing. If I didn't know anything about retro gaming and you told me this was a mouse for an NES computer that came out back in the day, I might believe you. It also comes out perfectly timed for the 8BitDo NES retro style keyboard. So how does it feel? Well, the buttons are nice and clicky and responsive. The D-pad feels nice and squishy. The ergonomics, however, not great. It's not great. I'm gonna go more in depth on the feel and the gameplay, but right off the bat, it doesn't really fill my hands as much as a mouse should. And to really hit these buttons properly, as you would initially think, you kind of have to overextend this side of your hand, which pretty much immediately starts cramping. You've got your left click and your right click, as you would assume. This is actually scroll down on a page and scroll up on a page. These buttons are, as you would assume, forward and backward on the page history. And you're wondering, how can a mouse not have a scroll wheel? Well, actually, it's a touch scroll wheel. And while we're at it, let's go over the rest of the specs. It's got that 2.4 gigahertz connection, so of course you have a USB Type A dongle. It is 71 grams and has 1,000 DPI. And just like in retro fashion, I should say these days, it does take AA batteries. Though on one AA battery, it does last 100 to 120 hours of use. So beat that, rechargeable mice. I didn't mention by name, but earlier that touch scroll wheel is called a 3D touch panel. And that's pretty much all there is to it. It's just a mouse and it looks a little funky. So I'm gonna take this thing through a gauntlet of tests. First, we'll start with web surfing, then I'm gonna take it through some new gaming, and then we're gonna do retro gaming, which is where I think this will shine. But there's only one way to find out. Let's go to the test. I don't have the 8BitDo retro keyboard, but hey, 8BitDo, if you wanna send me one, my DMs are open. So we got a little bit of inception here. I'm looking at the mouse on their website while using the mouse. But I'm already noticing that this 3D touch wheel is surprisingly responsive. Though I would probably still prefer a tactile scroll wheel here, just so I can get more precise inputs. I don't actually feel like I'm scrolling as much as I'd like here, although it is as responsive as a touch panel could be. It's just not, it's not giving me the feedback that I need. The buttons are nice and clicky, but I'm already experiencing the problem, the glaring problem that I mentioned in the very first part, where there's this space right here and my hands aren't filling it up. I feel like I have to overextend the top of my hand to really get a top-down press on these buttons, which is what I want to do. You know, with an NES controller, I don't want to press my thumb on like that. I want to get a top-down press on those buttons. Those buttons are nice, concave, and clicky. There's a way that these buttons are kind of designed to be pressed, and it's just not working when it's on a mouse. I think this is the same problem with the Apple mouse. It's just far too thin. But in this realm, the buttons are also not helping. Most mouse buttons, as you know, are like this full pad on either side, and so you can really have a pretty far range of clickability, I guess, depending on your grip. I know some people may do a top-down click or may do clicking on kind of the edge. The buttons are so small in comparison to how you would normally click on a mouse. I mean, there's so much real estate not being taken up here. So I feel like the only proper way to like grip this thing without getting arthritis would be to really just fill the palm right there, and then it's on my inner knuckles. So I feel like this is not how it was designed to be used. Like this is what is most ergonomic in my opinion. Again, though, if you don't want to use a scroll wheel, you can use the D-pad on the side, which I don't want to hate this thing. I really don't. But I hate the scroll up and scroll down. I hate that on the D-pad. I mean, like, it feels nice, but you are never going to get to a part in the page that you want. I mean, it's just not going to be precise enough. Like, the scroll wheel is nice because I can kind of get generally where I would want to. This is even worse. Look at this. I mean, you're scrolling like a quarter of a page every time I click it. So, I mean, maybe if I'm like wanting to jolt up to the top, and look, my fingers aren't even on the buttons. I have to push my thumb back so far to get to the actual D-pad. Look at this thing. My hand is mangled. My hand is mangled, man. And then of course you've got like page forward, page back, history stuff. That's pretty nice. That's like standard. I don't really ever use those. I'm always accidentally pressing that on the actual mouse that I use, but I'm sure there's a use case for it. I keep wanting to grab for the actual mouse that I use because I just am not having fun with this thing. All right, let's try some gaming. Okay, this was the only FPS that I just happened to have downloaded, so we're gonna be playing Apex. I don't know if it's going to be great. If I'm bad, we'll just blame it on the mouse. If I'm good, we'll just say I'm like super good at this game. It's a win-win. It's a win-win. Oh, okay. That does that. Okay. Oh shoot. If I get a kill, you have to subscribe. You gotta sub. You gotta like the video. You gotta put OG in the chat. Oh gosh, that feels so good, man. When you're pressing input, there's no questioning. You click the input. Like, you have to commit. Okay, I'm clicking the mouse now. You know. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, I can't tell you. It hurts. It does not feel good, man. It's like when I'm shooting in a straight line, sure, it feels good. When I'm aiming, half the other time of the game, bad. Yuck. I want to chop my hand off. I mean, you can tell how red my knuckles are getting red because I gotta massage it every time. Dude, if you haven't subbed by now, I haven't played the game in so long, I have no idea what that was. Ooh. All right, next game. All right, so we had to do the classic. We did FPS, now we've got sandbox. What else can you expect? I'm already like having to take intermittent breaks and just kind of go like this because the tendons right here are super sore. We're gonna test out some braking, some placing, because that's really utilizing these two buttons. I mean, I don't want to do anything that's like very keyboard heavy because that has nothing to do with it. So it's like this. Okay, I placed 4 blocks and my hand is on fire. my hand is legitimately on fire. Oh no, look at this. The scroll wheel. Okay, look, this is how touchy it is. This will show you. Okay, I want to go over 1. Fine, I'm barely touching it. Oh man, it is so boom, boom, boom. It's very touchy. I mean, that kills it for Minecraft for me because I'm not gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4 on the keyboard. And it's like, okay, here, let me select the pumpkin. All right, I'm getting it. All right, I'm getting there. Oh, don't worry about it. There we go. I guess. Oh, you can't even use the D-pad for that either, can you? Yeah, the D-pad doesn't even work. I'm sure you could like keybind it. But look, maybe this thing wasn't meant for modern gaming because look how retro it is. I think this thing is going to shine when we throw some emulators on it and it'll be kind of like a mouse version of the NES controller. Let's go to some retro games. Okay, so here is the problem that I'm finding with retro game emulation. A lot of the NES emulators just don't accept half of the inputs. They don't accept left click or right click as an actual input for the emulator, nor page forward or backwards. So sometimes you'll do, yeah, like it recognizes page up. And this is not just with this emulator. I've tried 4 or 5 different NES emulators and somehow I can't get it to work. So we're gonna try maybe an older game, but not as old. Okay, so I wasn't able to figure this out with any other emulator besides Dolphin. So we're playing Mega Man like 9 or 10 on WiiWare on Dolphin. So if you want to play retro games, you're gonna have to find something specifically on the WiiWare section because that's really the only emulator I can find that will take the inputs. Plus, even then, we've got A, B, or BA, however you want to do it, the D-pad, and then no start button. So I've got to sit through all this. Okay, so I've bound an enter button because there's no other buttons on this controller. So I'm half using the controller, the keyboard, I mean. God, man. Okay, I guess we're playing Splash Woman. I don't know, I've never played Mega Man. Never played Mega Man. I feel like it's only appropriate if I hold it like this, maybe? Oh, okay. Okay, that is strange. Oh my God. I don't know how to play Mega Man. Like, I know that's what, I mean, I know the comments are gonna go crazy and they're gonna be like, why are you not playing it like with one hand? This is why. Oh my God. This is trash. How the hell do you, okay, we're just gonna go down. Oh, and I died. Okay. Oh, what is this? Okay. Please tell me in the comments if it, like, is this just the Mega Man's controls being garbage, or is it because I'm playing with a mouse? See, the more and more I play this, I mean, I'm still not getting used to it, you know? Like, oh, great. So guys, I just wanted to play Mario. Sucks. In short, this thing sucks. I mean, I don't know how else to spin it. I really wanted to like this thing. As soon as I took it out of the box and put my hands on it, I was kind of disappointed because I knew, man, this is gonna go on the shelf and probably never touched again unless I do some kind of like weird challenge video. And I hate to say that this kind of discouraged me from buying the keyboard myself, just because I wanted the matching keyboard and mouse. I thought, I'll get the mouse first. And I mean, if I'm not gonna use the mouse, then clearly I'm not gonna use the keyboard, which I'm not saying there's anything wrong with the keyboard. I'm just saying I'm not gonna rock that setup anymore just because of how uncomfortable this thing is. I mean, my hand is cramping after just little under an hour of various gameplay sessions. It is a mouse. I'm not gonna fault it being a mouse to the compatibility that it has with other emulators. But I mean, the fact of the matter is, it's not really compatible with any of the emulators. They're not meant to be played on mice. You can't even use it in a cute and gimmicky way unless you're very specific with your game selection. So would I recommend this thing? I mean, it looks cool. I appreciate the design. And again, like I said in the beginning, no hate to the creator or anybody who helped make this possible, but it's just not for me. And that's crazy to say because like I am all about gimmicky and fun, weird, cool tech. As long as it's versatile and you can at least use it. If I can at least see a use case for it with a specific market, then I can recommend it. But I can't see anyone using this. Even if you had tiny hands, I just don't know whose hands these are built for. And that's also not to say anything against 8BitDo as well. I will say 8BitDo is probably easily one of my favorite companies. I love their controllers, as I have here in setting in the background. I mean, these controllers are awesome. I put out a review for that one. They've got really nice all-in-one dongles for various retro gaming consoles, various controllers for anything that you could possibly need. I mean, they really are a great company. I think you should go check out their products. And no, I'm not sponsored, but this one's not it. Anyways, with that being said, thanks for watching this video. Let me know in the comments, what should I review next? And I will see you in the next one.